Hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. We're finally here at my personally most hyped set of the Legion era, and that is set 19, Divine Judgment of the Bluish Flames. So I guess without further ado, let's begin with the JP calendar. So set 19 was the month of June for JP. Before I proceed, here's my obligatory statement that this video is mostly an informed or educated guess based on the JP experience. Most of the contents here are not 100% confirmed for global, but you can expect basically or mostly similar or the same experience. Alright, moving on. As you can see, there are quite a few events to cover, so let's keep going. First of all, I think this is the biggest change for players right now. For global players, you will know that Silverthorn is a massive thorn. And after a long streak of dominance, Silverthorn finally gets a little thorn on their side with a slap of a wrist. So both Marchika and Anna, they have this new text where they can only do this for that turn. So this ability can only be activated by a card with the same card name once per turn. So you know, it still kind of does the same thing, but it's a bit more limited and definitely very welcome from a non-Pale Moon player. And that doesn't mean that this archetype is irrelevant. I think it's still a really strong archetype, but it definitely did get knocked down a little peg. So let's talk about banners. Set 19, Divine Judgment of the Bluish Flames includes from left to right, Dark Irregulars, Dimension Police, Gold Paladin, Shadow Paladin, Pale Moon, and Oracle Think Tank. We're going to cover my top units at the near the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. In addition, we also have birthday banners to expect. This is again purely speculation, but birthday gadgets have been a thing for the cover characters of the character fights for quite a while now. And so be on the lookout for a Nova Grappler and Bermuda Triangle banner on the 13th and the 27th respectively, and as usual these are capped at 4 times, 10 rolls and gem only, so be sure to have your gems ready for this. For JP players, if you're watching this for some reason, you will know that we're getting permanent clan banners, so we might not get the birthday banners for JP, but you know, you already have those guaranteed banners, so it doesn't really matter. Next up for the season event, we have Picnic de Mate. This one features the Quatre Knights, and it's a 3-in-1 event, but they also cheaped out on the home skins. So the fight skins and sleeves for Olivier, Philippe, and Ratti, but home skin and my room character only for Olivier. So unfortunately, if you're a fan of Philippe or Ratti, it's kind of sucks, but you know, my room character thing, I don't know if a lot of people care much about it. But gacha tickets, as always, it's going to be costing 2,000 of the event currency. Quite nice, actually, because if you want to get these character skins in the regular means, they kind of cost 200 V-medals. So this event is a nice way to at least have these characters in your game without spending too much. For our 4th member of the Quatre Knights, we have the clan event instead for Neo Nectar, Prelude to the Moon. This marks a big change to clan events. For better or for worse, that is still, I don't know. Some people still think it's up to debate. I personally am very negative towards it. I think it's really terribly difficult to complete now, especially since it's one clan only and you kind of need both triple rares. For this event, there is no gacha option for the new support. It instead is an exchange shop instead. And as you can see, the exchange is as following: 1,000 for a triple rare, 250 for a double rare, 100 for a rare, and 50 for common. A positive is that for when you exchange for rares and commons, you will get 4 copies of playset whenever you exchange it. So it's cheap like that, but you know, if you want to get a playset and a complete musketeer deck, you kind of need like what, 4,000 for a playset of a triple rare. You kind of need both, so it's quite expensive, and it's no longer luck reliant, that's for sure. But maybe low rolling is more efficient than exchanging for these like this. Next, we have the Ranked Rewards Season 36, Holy Prominence of Oaths. Lasted for the first half of the month. It included the sleeves for Percival and Aglovale, as well as the Ranked Reward being Aglovale. And for the second half of the month is Season 37, Holy Night of Blue Flames. And it includes the sleeves for Blaster Dark Revenger Ebis and Revenger Phantom Blaster Ebis, as well as the rank reward being the Bluish Flame Liberator Percival. So if you are a free-to-play player, or any player as a matter of fact, golds once again became the rank rewards, so they're very easily achievable. Just do your usual grinding, and you know, it's a great, accessible, and easy to play Legion deck for you. Next, we have the View Coupon Shop Return of Ethics Buster, the Nova Grappler Rigride, as well as Blaster Dark Revenger, the Shadow Paladin, the iconic unit, I suppose. We are getting a new Blaster Dark Revenger in the form of Blaster Dark Revenger Ebis, as we just mentioned, but you still need a playset of these OG Blaster Dark Revengers. It's just really good card. So if you missed out before, please don't miss out now, and be sure to exchange them as well as the new sleeves. For the V-Metal shop, as we mentioned just now, each costing 200 V-Metals, it is Gayad, Philippe, and Rati. They are representing Gold Paladin, Dimension Police, and Shadow Paladin respectively, and each come with their own sleeves, so don't miss out. And I know that the month of June was Aishi's birthday festival, which marks JP's 1.5 year anniversary. But for the last time, Global had set 2 and 3 merged, so we are technically 1 month ahead of schedule, quote-unquote schedule, and as such, the 1.5 year anniversary will probably be set 20 instead of set 19, so please look forward to that instead, and I will leave that, most of the details for that next month's set overview instead. But as I was making these slides, something very interesting came up. So the official Twitter has stated that the current trial decks will be removed on September 1st. And this actually aligns very well with the JP schedule, as JP had the 1.5 year anniversary and the introduction for super decks during this update, because it was the 1.5 year anniversary. And whether this means that we will be getting the super decks earlier on September 1st, or, you know, maybe down the line and we'll just have nothing much going on, we'll have to see. But it is a possibility now that I didn't expect, that we can actually get super decks earlier before the 1.5 year anniversary. And so, really briefly about the super decks, I didn't expect to explain this, but during the 1.5 year anniversary update for JP, all players got 1 super deck medal, all new players got an additional super deck medal, so totaling to 2, and in addition, you can purchase these for 3,540 yen, because it's money. Note that on release, this only included non-event clans, but recently for JP, they announced that they will introduce event clan super decks as well. So, for global players, of course, you can exchange them, finish up existing decks, or just get max to help out build future decks. Or, you know, we know clan events are hard to complete, so maybe save up these super deck medals and help out with your clan event plans. And that could be very exciting to use as well. So now we're at the midpoint of the video, I suppose. This is my favorite segment, key cards to look forward to. I usually pick around 2 to 4 units per clan with a focus on 1 key legion and some support units. Some clans only get like a couple units, so it's not really fair to compare each clan, but I still, as I say, it's based on my personal opinion. As always, these videos are always opinionated, I can't avoid that. And so I'm basing this on my personal investment value on these cards. I know some clans better than others, so make your own decision. Of course, all the units, go check them out in the database, link in the description down below. But let's start off with the clan that I think came out on top of the set, and that is Shadow Paladin. And all bias aside, Shadows are back in the game, this time with 2 archetypes. Support for the Almighty Revengers and introduction of the feisty Shadow Witches. And of course, I can only showcase so much, so let me introduce you to the better of the 2 Revengers. So Phantom Blaster is back now with a new trick. Now it can Blast 1, retire 3, and restand. Alongside with its iconic mate, Blaster Dark Revenger Abyss, which lets you snipe out grade 1s at the cost of Blast 1, getting rid of precious back row units. For our backup, we have the Alt Legion Cormac, which can generate an extra crit even before it's in Legion state. And its mate, Makart, lets you plus for free when you Legion. And even though the unit is the superior call is in rest, it is perfect for the cost of your Vanguards, either Abyss or Cormac. So overall, you will still be playing a lot of the already good Break Right Air support, you know, OG Blaster Dark Revenger. You'll still be playing Mordred. But if you're interested in playing this meta, be prepared, and this deck can carry you for sure. Next, we have golds. Golds are always golden, and as we mentioned just now, Percival and its mate Aglovel will be ranked reward, so it's a very free to play option. Percival lets you superior call just like Easel did, but limited to Liberator units. Aglovel does something similar. On place, Caramlast 1, check top 3, and call 1. And of course, we have Prominence Core, which can conditionally apply some crit pressure as well. So overall, the support might seem a little underwhelming, not doing too much, but don't underestimate the power of filling up the board. And we already have an amazing core for Liberators with Zenith, with Blaster Blade Liberator, with all that crazy stuff. So you're just adding a few key pieces to an already meta contender, and you have something really, really good and really, really accessible. Next up, we have Dimension Police, represented by a new archetype Metalborg. So Sid Buster is a counterblast-less guard restrictor, which I think is one of the first in the game besides Tom, punishing unexpected opponents and sealing off games before your opponent knows it. To support him, you have his mate Urbuster, which gives your Vanguard an additional 4k when Legion and the threat to on hit retire one rearguard. Helps hit the power threshold and extra pressure, which is quite nice. And earlier into the game, another Legion that could help make better use of Sin Buster could be Dreon, which gets an extra crit when attacking above 30k power. And lastly, we have Baron Grader. It's a great utility unit that DP seems to have a trend towards. It helps you rewrite the Legion of your choosing on whenever you want, and gives you the new Vanguard an additional 3k to actually help you hit those power thresholds. So it's very helpful. Helps you tour out whichever one you want, whether that's Dreon early game or Sin Buster late game. Next, we have Dark Irregular, Amon's leader Astaroth. It legions with our OG Dark Irregular boss Amon, so if you pull Astaroth through the gacha, you will see a familiar face. When in Legion, both Vanguards can activate their Vanguard skills, so the synergy between the two becomes more apparent. There are other Legions for Dark Irregulars, most of which really isn't that relevant, but one of which is Psychic of Storm Rigil, which when attacking Vanguard can Caramlast 2 and retire 2 of your opponent's rearguards if you have 6 soul, and 1 more, totaling to 3 if you have 10 soul. So being able to annihilate your opponent's board is quite nice, and its mate Isaiah can become a 12k beater conditionally, so that's nice. Hitting numbers is quite fine, I guess. All in all, don't underestimate the manipulators of the soul, or you'll soon find out that you're the Polar Soul being played instead. Second to last, we have Battle Sisters, representing Oracle Think Tank. Jelly is our Battle Sister and Legion support. It does what OTT does best, just draw cards. And to help her out, Pudding can countercharge and become a 12k beater, which is quite nice. And Royce is your vanilla on hit grade 3 searcher. And while this might not seem much, Stride format is right around the corner, and being able to guarantee the cost, increase your consistency of seeing the right grade 3, and all that stuff is quite helpful. So maybe it could be some relevant unit down the line. And last but not least, Pale Moon, represented by Beast Tamers this time around. Crackling Beast Tamer lets you fill up your board at a steep cost of Caramlast 3, with her mate Tiger become a 12k beater in the process. We also have another unit, Bunny Queen, who is actually a LB4 unit and has multiple ways to Caramlast and Superior Call from your soul. Objectively, this round of support is quite disappointing, but personally I'm very thankful it's not Silverthorn support. Silverthorn are still going to be very strong, and you know, I think Pale Moon can take a break in the backseat while you know, G's right around the corner with Harry and all that. So lastly, let's talk about some tournament results for early June. This is from June 12th, so early set 19, we see that Shadow Paladin Golds, they're creeping up with almost as much representation as Seekers with Royal Paladin, and Golds are still really good. Again, Golds are relatively more easily accessible because Zenith is a ranked reward, Blaster Blade Liberator is a ranked reward, the new Legion pair is a ranked reward, so that's really, really easy. For Shadow Paladin, it's just really strong. You also have the Witches archetype. It is decent, but it's definitely not as competitive as the Revenger archetype. And so if you want to see the meta, well, earlier into the set, you know, I think gradually people are noticing how strong these Paladin clans are. Next up, in later June, we have Revengers, basically overtaking Royal Paladins, and Golds, again, just right behind Still in 3rd place, but overall you can see it's a Paladin dominated format. If you invested in set 18, you should still be comfortable. Seekers are still doing well, as I mentioned last time, but you can see that clearly, you know, Shadow Paladin, Gold Paladin, they're just neck and neck, and they're in the competition. And lastly, I think in July, this is early July for set 20, we see that Golds and Shadows 2nd and 3rd place. Kagero is 1st place, Link Joker is 4th place, Bermuda is 5th place, and Genesis is 6th place. So again, Golds and Shadows always still really popular. I think more people are playing Golds now because, you know, you can generate more resources easily. It's just a meta kind of situation, but again, I think overall these are just representation. It's just a pie chart based on percentage of popularity, you know, how many people brought what. It doesn't represent which clan's the best or which build's the best. It only represents what's popular and what to expect to be popular, because I feel like a lot of global players kind of follow JP metagames, watch different fight, follow tier lists and whatnot, and so you kind of see the same trends. But it doesn't mean that, you know, Kagero is the best deck in this format. It doesn't mean that. It just means Kagero is the most popular deck in this format, right? Let's not misinterpret stats. So that's basically it. Again, while I try to reflect everything that went on in JP, the global experience can be not one-to-one to the JP experience. Another thing to note is that I've taken some liberties to omit some information. You know, like JP did have their 1.5 year anniversary during the set, but I don't expect it to happen so soon. So I mentioned some things that are more possible, like super decks, given what they tweeted, but some other things I kind of omitted, saved it for later. So yeah, let me know down below which clan you're most hyped for this set. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. More than 50% of you are not subscribed, so please subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye!